Debut records all throughout history. There have been some amazing first efforts from bands that really brought them to the dance and introduced what they would do for years to the world. I've done a video on the channel before about 5 of my favorite debut records of all time. Today, Lauren from the Beard Owl podcast is going to stop by and share 5 of her favorite debut records with you, coming right up. Hey, it's Russ from the Infectious Groove podcast, Lauren from the Beard Owl podcast, and together we represent the Infectious Groove music channel here on YouTube. As I said in the intro, I've done a video before about 5 debut records that I love, and now it's time for Lauren to share 5. Now, I think a lot of times when we do these videos, it's kind of like 5 randos. Like this isn't your 5 favorite, or are these your 5 favorite of all time?
They might. No, they're not my 5 favorite debut albums of all time, but there is a...
These are 5 you just love.
These are 5 that I just love because you've said it before that I tend to skew towards like 70s and 80s music, but I am aware that music has happened since then. And it's true. These are 5 debut albums that like I actually found when they happened, and I found them on my own. And
glancing at your list, it looks like they're at least from the last 30 years, most from the last 20 at least. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's get into it. What do you got?
So the first one is actually the first CD that I bought with my own money. It's Yourself or Someone Like You, the debut from Matchbox 20.
I feel like to this day, everyone has a copy of this in their car somewhere. Like, even if you don't have a CD player in your car, that they're in your car is a copy of Yourself or Someone Like You somewhere in the car.
Yeah, well, actually, that copy of Yourself or Someone Like You is somewhere in this room.
That's funny. That's funny. But yeah, I mean, we don't really need to labor the point on this record. Like, everyone knows all that. There was at least 4 huge singles from the album. And I would argue, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way, that Matchbox, it kind of laid the groundwork for, if you like this, boy, are you going to like the next couple of records, because they're all very similar vein. What else do you got?
I have Hopes and Fears by Keane. Oh my God, I still do. I love this album. Sometimes I'll just put it on and listen to it straight through, and it's one of those that takes me back to a time in my life.
Well, for sure. And I feel like a band like Keane, piano-based rock, I feel like that came out and you must have been like, this is for me. Yeah. This is specifically for me.
Oh, yeah. They made that for me. Yeah. But yeah, it's awesome.
And they're another act, too, that, well, I think, they've remained popular overseas. Here in the U.S., they kind of fell off, and which is a bummer. But they're another act, too, that has remained consistent. Like, what they've released since then, I feel like stands up to
it does.
The debut record.
For sure.
Cool. What else you got?
Another one that like absolutely knocked my socks off when I heard it was Rufus Wainwright's self-titled debut album. Holy crap. This is still probably one of my favorite albums of all time. Oh, talk about piano again.
Yeah, I mean, well, with Rufus, you have piano. You have, in my opinion, a completely unique delivery, vocal-wise. I think, you correct me if I'm wrong on this, I feel like Rufus Wainwright is one of those people that if you play 30 seconds of one song the first time you ever heard him, you will either be like, I would love to hear more of this, or please don't ever play that again.
Yeah, acquired taste for sure.
On his vocal. Now, I don't even feel like you could acquire the taste. I feel like if you hear it and you don't like it, then you should probably stop there, because, and I'm saying this complimentary. I happen to like Rufus Wainwright and his delivery, but if you don't like it, I don't feel like there's going to come a point where it's going to grow on you.
That's fair.
But yeah, a monster debut record, though.
Oh, so good.
Incredible.
So good.
We got 3 down and 2 more to go. What else do we got?
I have another self-titled debut album. This is from Ben Queller, who, I don't even know how I stumbled upon Ben Queller or any of his stuff, but the first time I saw him, and I found this out retroactively, was his band Radish was one of the musical guests on the Weird Al show.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, and it makes no sense in context. But anyway, yeah, this album is great. Like, the whole beginning of it is really like that kind of dirty, like, early 2000s, like, indie boy kind of stuff, right? But the last track, Falling, is a beautiful, like, piano, like, poppy love song. And it's one of my favorites.
Piano strikes again.
It does.
So this last one that's on your list, I just want to say retroactively, this one for me was I got my initial impression of it was wrong, but my initial impression was that the record label was like, hey, we need to get us one of those Amy Winehouses. So I'm glad to say that I was wrong, and I don't feel like the artist is in any way, let me say, was even trying to copy what Amy Winehouse was doing. But what's number 5 on your list?
Rock Fairy by Duffy. And one thing that the title, the single Mercy is probably, it's one of the coolest songs to come out around that time. But then there's a great track on there, Warwick Avenue.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a huge hit in the UK, and I don't think it even charted here, which is crazy.
One thing I do want to try and dig up somewhere is Duffy put out some Welsh language EPs before this. I would like to hear her sing in Welsh.
Yeah, so if you have those, drop us a
send them
link.
to me.
Yeah. But yeah, and that's a good set of diversity that you have in your 5 debut records that you love. I don't think there's any one artist that even remotely sounds like another on there, and I would encourage, if anybody's like, if you are like me and you heard all those Matchbox songs in the 90s and you were like, I really don't need to buy that CD, I guess, like you should check out the rest of the record.
Yeah.
And I would say the same thing for all those artists. Only one with a caveat is Rufus. I feel like if you don't like what he's doing right off the bat, you're not going to grow into it, so to speak. But Keane, I think, is one that everybody should go check out, that people haven't. And Duffy is one, you mentioned Mercy, which was a big hit here in the US, but I feel that song has been relegated to when people hear it on the background of the bar, they're like, oh, I forgot about that song.
Yeah.
Check out the rest of that record.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And leave us a comment in there. Let us know what you think of Lauren's picks for 5 debut records she loves. I know people left comments on my original video letting me know what debut records they love. Do the same for her. Let her know what you think about her picks and what are some of your favorite debut records of all time. If you haven't already, if this is your first time seeing us, well, there's so much more to see of us. So hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, make sure that you are alerted when we have new videos. And as we always say, thank you so much for watching.